to Talking Junk. Talking Junk. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Welcome to Talking Junk, the podcast that fucks up every week but still comes to you live because we just fucked up right now. TikTok is so fucking complicated. Welcome, everybody. I think we're still live on TikTok. Hello. Welcome to Talking Junk. You'll get another calm version of me in just a second. Technical difficulties, as you know, arise every week. This technical difficulty, however, is a little different. All right. There we go. Now you can see me on TikTok. They want a camera up. I got a camera up somewhere else, streaming on there. It's complicated. But we are here. And we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guest for you tonight. She is going to be just as chaotic, just as comedic, just as outgoing, just as vulgar, but still just as proud. She is the co-host of the Campfire shit show and the founder of a brand I am going to let her introduce because we know all too well about her brand and why we definitely need to be a part of it. Miss Merrill, how you doing tonight?
Yeah. Hi. I feel like I should almost just like spill water all over myself and the keyboard just so I could like have technical difficulties right from the start.
I feel like I did you a disjustice with your intro because I had everything all set up, everything ready, and then TikTok fucked me once again.
No, you did great. I thought you did great. TikTok is annoying. If you're listening, China, let us just do what we want to do, please. Except TikTok is my favorite social media. I don't know about you, but I can't be mad at it for too long.
Right, I can't either because I'm always on it. I'm always scrolling through it. If you're coming on TikTok right now and you're looking, this is the first time Talking Junk, the podcast, has been on TikTok. So give us a little follow there. You'll hear a little chime, whatever the hell that is. Give me whatever you got. I don't give a fuck. I don't even want it. Just stay here and listen. This is what I need. You to listen to these wonderful guests every week. You may be familiar with the doofuses I have on Friday night in the break room, but tonight is Tuesday. That's Talking Junk Tuesdays. We're here with Merrill from the Campfire shit show. She's going to tell us all about herself.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that right?
It is right. As well. Okay, we're doing this live. You know, when there's technical difficulties, it's like it's weird, but it's not too bad. But then picture like I just had a few when I was doing stand-up, and it's like you're standing on stage in front of 200 people, and I just had a thing where I was announcing the headliner of the night, and as I said his name, the whole cord fell out of the microphone, and then it's like talking in front of people is not scary to me, but what is like plugging it back in and finding the male and female end of the cord and everything. And so I just looked to like a man in the audience, which is bad for feminism, but I looked in the crowd and I'm like, can some man help me? But then I figured I'm like, take a minute, and I figured it back, which I'm proud of myself. But yeah, that's all to say that sometimes it's just good to like scream and panic when things happen and completely become unglued.
I like to do that, but when I do that, I tend to do.
Look at it now.
I'll go straight off camera. I'll scream a little bit. Everybody in the house is looking at me like, "What the fuck is happening?" But nobody on the internet is. So that's
yeah, good. And see, I get nervous too, having to like adjust the mic stand in stand up, and so. Sometimes if it's like, I just had a moment where the mic stand was all the way down low, like at my knees, and I didn't know how to fix it in front of people. So I just like got down at first and just, I'm going to act like I'm 3'2", and then it's okay. We're going to go with it.
So how'd you get to stand up?
I knew I wanted to do it for like basically ever, but I didn't get the balls to really start until right before right before the pandemic in 2020. But I was doing everything stand up adjacent. I did morning radio in San Diego, which was really fun, and we'll definitely talk about that because there was a lot of like canceling that went on there. So I was on air on a radio station, and then we had the podcast, the Campfire Shit Show podcast, and I was
we can't just gloss over that, Meryl. I'm so sorry.
No, we'll talk about everything, but yeah.
We can't gloss over the radio. I want to be there. How did you get there?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, so that was like 2019 and 2020. I had lived in San Diego for a really long time, and I just think people knew me as like someone that was a creator. There was a local show called Tonight in San Diego that I wrote for and that I performed in. And so I think when there was a radio station when they were looking for a female co-host that was funny, that didn't take herself too seriously, that would like try spicy chicken wings at 5 a.m. and, just all around be goofy. They called me up and I had to audition, and I beat out a couple other really, really talented females that had been on the radio for a while. So I was really excited to like have that be my new career. And then the pandemic happened and the radio station got bought out.
Wow. Was it iHeartRadio? Because they buy fucking everything.
No, it was a different company called Tegna, but they own a bunch of things. But the funny part is, like, I'm so lucky that we didn't go on through the pandemic, because I feel like just being on air during that time, I totally would have gotten kicked out. and I got in trouble for, I said the word moist a lot, and then a woman called up and saying that whenever I say moist, she's triggered. So then I had to like go into this. It was like I had to go into this boardroom of like 4 men, and they sat me down and they were explaining to me that I shouldn't use the word moist too much. So.
All right, let's see. Can you also see the timer on top of the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the minute mark, we are going to try for the next 60 seconds to say moist in a sentence as
Every
much as
sentence.
we can.
Okay, wonderful.
Every sentence, all right?
The idea of that is making me moist.
Now, the moisture in my brain has dissipated, and it's leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What type of moist idea did you have in your head to even start the podcast? Is your moist co-host any good on the mic?
My moist co-host, this guy Chris Cantori, was he's still like a very moist friend of mine. My heart drips for him. I love him so much. He was talking about the Super Bowl, and it was the J-Lo and Shakira year, 2 very moist women, and he was saying, we were saying how beautiful J-Lo's skin is, and he was saying moist. Yeah, very, very moist. And so he said that how tan she is makes him moist, and then I was playing off of that, saying like Shakira makes me moist. And so then we got into it, and a woman just said she was driving her car, probably like I feel like the steering wheel was probably very moist, because I feel like the
moisture in the couch must have been like a sponge.
Yeah. And so she tattled on us, and it made me dry, to be honest.
Well, that bit did dry up pretty fast. It was a minute. We did. I was repetitive. You were amazingly moist.
Thank you. I kept on thinking about brownies, which really shows where my head is at. Is that like I actually don't think of sexual things when I think of moist. I think of like really good chocolate brownies.
Now that's crazy, because no matter how moist the brownie looks, no more moist puns intended, it's always dry.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is.
I forget what area are you in, or what city are you in? Do you tell people?
Today I am in Connecticut.
Okay. I don't know the Connecticut brownie scene a lot, but I feel like in LA,
I feel like every I mean, you could put fudge in it, you could underbake it a little bit, you know what I mean? But it's still a little dry.
Man, I just had, of course, I live in annoying LA, so I had black bean brownies, and they were actually really good. I was ready to hate and like really be mad at it, but it was like cacao, black beans, and it tasted pretty moist. So yeah, it's good.
Now I'm not gonna lie, I love a brownie, but it's the peanut butter feeling it leaves in my mouth. That
it is sticky, and it's kind of like, why did I do that afterwards? And just know it, like if I looked at like a scan of my insides, it's just hanging on to every organ that we have.
pretty much. Just like everything else.
Yeah,
I like a good Chinese food, and that's all over my guts.
Yeah, that's my issue. But yeah, that's what I think about. Probably explains a lot. Probably why my boyfriend's not too happy is I think about brownies more than sex. So yeah.
Well, he needs to learn how to bake a sheet and bring it into bed with him.
Yeah, he needs to bake a sheet. Instead, he's getting baked every night. Yeah.
He just needs to cover himself in brownies.
Oh my God, I would
rest
love
will
that.
be history. See, look
Except
at that.
he's in the Beard family with you, and sometimes when I come home, he'll be eating Taco Bell, and it will be like dripping off of his beard, and I'm just like, I'm good for tonight.
Well, what if the brownie was dripping off of his beard? Then you would want to lick those crumbs.
I would be into it until I like threw up all over the both of us.
Yeah, my wife would probably do the same thing.
Right?
So, pandemic hit. You were out of a radio job. You noticed the chemistry you and your friend had. Now, how long have you guys known each other?
Oh, so that's a different. It's so funny. That's a different co-host too. So I had one radio co-host, and then I have my podcast co-host was my friend Beau, and both are like I'm very lucky where I feel like I get paired up with very awesome men. You know, like men that have senses of humor, but are also really great to like help spotlight women. So Beau and I were really good friends from the TV show that I worked on called Tonight in San Diego. And we just knew, you know, it's one, I don't know if you have anything like this, but I feel like it's so good to have platonic, like other sex friends where it's just like, you know, there's no attraction in that kind of way, but it's like a creative attraction basically. So from the beginning,
Right.
Him and I knew that we wanted to work together. And that was like 5 years ago at this point. And, he's an amazing, I'm speaking of him like he's dead. I'm like, he was, but no, he's not dead yet, but he is an amazing, like graphics person, editing person. So pretty much like really, I just brought the like pizzazz to our podcast. And so, and I just like showed up being demanding and wearing a backpack and he like did everything else but that, or, you know, to make us actually work. And then we're taking a little break now just because it's really cool. He's actually a Disney artist. So he works for Disney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's one of the like licensed, it's a very small number of painters and artists that are licensed out by Disney. And he'll go to these cruises where like these really rich people will go buy his Disney paintings, and it's really cool. So, you know, trying to do that plus a podcast was a little bit much. So we're on a break now, but I'm hoping like, you know, maybe in like a year or so we'll start it back up. But we had 5 years of talking to different podcasters, comedians, like all different types of people.
You ever thought about doing it remotely?
You know, it's really funny. We tried. He also goes to Japan a lot for work. And so we tried, and it's so funny. I just don't feel the same chemistry. Like when we're over video, it's like it just wasn't the same for us. So yeah.
I get it. So you guys kind of like feed off of each other's energy while you're in the room.
Yeah. We did a few remote recordings, and it was so funny. It's like he would say a sentence. I felt like it was two robots, like two AI people. Like he'd say a sentence, and
you know what? I get it.
Right?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. See, yeah.
Oh, is there a little bit of a lag now?
Oh, I hope not. That's so funny. Just as I'm talking about like why remote recording is not the best, but yeah, it would be that kind of thing where I'd be like, "Thank you, Beau, for that sentiment," and I'm like, "Why am I talking like that? I never talked like that in the whole world." So I'm hoping we can do it in person. But honestly, like I feel like you know, there's a lesson in also realizing that was a beautiful project, and if that ends and like not in a bad way or a sad way, then I'm ready for like, you know, new things.
Okay. One door closes, another door opens.
Exactly. Another remote door closes. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's kind of like one of the reasons why we went live. Other than you don't have to spend hours trying to edit one episode.
Yeah. It's just good sometimes to like, I think live, you're right. Live adds to making it feel like an actual real conversation, which it is in real time. But then, yeah, there's something about just like Zoom recordings. It makes me feel like I'm in like a business meeting, but this actually feels way more personal than usual.
Good. I'm glad. We like to get down, dirty, and moist on these podcasts. So I'm glad you feel right at home.
Yeah. And then I was just going to say too, doing radio was so funny because I feel like the people that still listen to like morning AM radio, or it was FM, but it was like the people that listen in the morning are a funny bunch. Where like we had one caller that would call every day, and his mom strangled him with like his umbilical cord, and like I don't know, something happened that basically. So we would have these people that it really was like a Howard Stern type show, where I'm like, where are these weirdos coming from? And like, I love them, but it's still a funny bunch that like are dedicated morning radio listeners.
Right. For somebody to get up that early in the morning and be that dickish, it's fucking hilarious.
Yes. And I still get messages about like, I said one time that I don't really like yacht rock, and I would kind of like make it a bit about not liking yacht. And I still get men that DM me like today, like 3 years later, just like saying that they're listening to yacht rock. I'm like, cool, good for you. That's awesome.
What the fuck is yacht rock?
Yeah, like Steely Dan. You know what yacht rock is? Like that band like Steely Dan. It's kind of like sail away, like almost like dad rock, I would think.
Okay.
Dad rock, but on a boat. It's not Def Leppard. It's more like Jimmy Buffett. You get the vibe. Yeah.
Rock that you are almost ashamed to call rock.
Exactly. Not in the Nickelback way, but like in the like I'm on a boat cruise kind of way.
I get it. Shout out to my brother Eddie. He's probably laughing right now.
Is he like in a yacht rock band or something?
Rock. No, he's more of the rock.
Oh, okay, cool. See, I would take that any day over like a Steely Dan yacht rock moment.
Now I got to tell you, going back to first before I tell you which episode I listened to, Campfire shit show. Where did the name come from?
That was Beau's idea. When we decided on a podcast topic, we decided like instead of making it focused on one thing, we wanted to have it just a feeling of like sitting around a campfire with friends and him and I are both like shit shows where we would talk about our life and just the shit show things that went on. I mean, like him and I together throughout the 5 years had relationships end and begin. I would get fired. I like pooed on myself, like I threw up. It was just like everything that you could think of pretty much happened like in our lives. Like my boyfriend and I bought a house, and then at the housewarming party, like at our actual housewarming party, our bathroom started leaking urine on the guests, and like right then and there, like we had the first major issue of our house at our very own housewarming party, and like urine started like raining down on our guests. So it was just stories like that where we're like, instead of trying to make it so like prim and proper, let's just start rolling with like what is happening in our lives. And like I feel like a lot of my jobs and doing stand-up just breed naturally a lot of weird stories, and same with Beau. So that was Campfire shit show. People always still ask us if we camp, and we've gotten like DMs from like 10 companies and like marshmallow companies, and so I'm like, no, we don't actually camp separately or together. It's just the name of it.
That would be badass though, to have like a tent brand.
I know. What's so funny, because Beau and I are both very like indoor creatures, and we always said let's just go camping for like the sake of it so we could actually record, but then I think one of us would end up not coming back. It would probably be me. I'd end up like in a fire somewhere.
Well, you see, this is where my guests say that I'm pretty good at marketing. You don't camp outside. You should then have a brand of bed tents.
Oh, that's so good. Like glamping or
more like you and your husband in a bed tent.
A bed tent? Oh, like okay, I get it. So like we don't have to leave the house or go in the forest.
Go nowhere. You just set it up when you want to feel outdoorsy. Set up the ambiance, put the nature music on.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe I could like sprinkle some moss on the floor and like, yeah, I like that. I don't know, put like a deer antler somewhere or something. I think it'd be cool.
Put the sprinkler system inside the house, make it real moist. Throw the heat on while you do it so it's nice like a sauna.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Give them a little swampy vibe.
Oh, yeah. And that's true. They do have like s'more candles. We can make it a whole big thing.
Yeah. Throw the humidifier on, make it really moist in there.
Yeah. Oh, and then we would have people on our podcast. If we had a guest on, then we would always have them say their shit show moment. And I feel like it's cool because we had a lot of comedians on, but then we also had people that were hosts of red carpet events. And, we had someone that confused Denzel Washington with Samuel L. Jackson on the red carpet, and she kept on like referencing the wrong movie. And so just things like that, where it's like, we've had newscasters on just talking about things that have gone wrong. So I really love to hear about that type of stuff in people's lives, because it makes us all feel a little bit better.
It always does.
So, yeah,
it makes you feel more human, connected.
Yeah. Yes.
Everybody fucks up.
Exactly.
Everybody has a shit day.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever go through an episode where you said your shit show moments?
Oh my gosh. I mean, our whole, basically like almost every episode was our shit show moments, like in general. So I feel like we tried
to shit show of the week.
Yeah. And we would have little segments like s'more, like give us some more. So it would be like something that you want to hear more of. We would have, my favorite, I think, was bug bites, where we would say what's annoying us, like things that are getting under our skin. And I feel like I'm genuinely or generally like a happy person, but I feel like I have a ton of things I hate so much. So I feel like it was a good outlet for me to like spew hate.
I love it. It's great marketing.
Right? Everyone needs to be annoyed, or like it feels good to be. You're from the East Coast. You like out here on the West Coast. I keep telling my friends, like, not everything is so positive every moment. You could be annoyed.
I am annoyed probably 75% of the day.
Right? What's annoying you the most? Not right now, but like in life in general, like this week or this month.
In life in general, this week, money.
Yeah.
Money. It's like, fuck, just stay in my pocket.
Yeah. Or you feel like we're all feeling it with the inflation, and just groceries are crazy, right? Like
everything is crazy.
Yeah. It's very weird. I feel like I'm so lucky, and it's a privilege to have not felt it in my life up until this point. But it's like weird when most people I know are really, really struggling with having enough money to buy groceries and like new clothes and, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's school just started. So, you got to go around the new clothes, new school supplies, new sneakers.
Yeah. See, I can't even imagine you're buying it for other people, right? This is like, I'm like, I can't buy myself new sneakers, because you're like, I'm literally trying to put sneakers on my children.
I'm the one that's like, look, nowadays, the world we live in, you want that $200 pair of sneakers? I bet you I can find myself a $200 pair of sneakers for $30 somewhere.
Yeah.
How much you want that?
Yeah.
And I go and I do it. So what? Somebody wore them once. You go to the thrift store, right? You wear those clothes. Somebody died in them.
Yep. Growing up, we would have, how the like Adidas and Gazelles have, I think they have 3 stripes, right? Or like
Adidas is 3, I believe.
The 3, yeah. So my mom would buy me Payless sneakers, but they would have 4. Yeah, they would have 4, so I would take a marker and like just try to make it look inconspicuous.
I'd love to see a picture of that.
Yeah, I was like standing, probably hiding, and that's so weird. And like, I also remember all the girls had Gap bags, and my parents were so sweet that like I didn't shop at the Gap, but they would just buy me they would get the bags for me, so I'd be able to like carry my gym clothes in there. So look, now I care less about that kind of stuff, but it is real when you're a kid. You want to like blend in at least to some degree.
I had my fair share of hand-me-downs when I was younger.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. I had this one pair of Hugo Boss jeans that my uncle gave me because they didn't fit him anymore. And it had Boss embossed on the side of it. And I went to school with them, and I knew that if my uncle had it, it was something that was expensive.
Ooh.
And it was something that was worth wearing. I didn't know who the fuck Hugo Boss was at the time. Now I know what it is. I didn't know what it was at the time. And I had this girl in school. She came up to me and she was like, what the fuck are you wearing? What is Boss? Bums on Social Security? I was like, oh
no.
Okay. I will never wear these jeans again.
What a bitch.
Right. Fuck that bitch. Because now I want to find her, get another pair of those jeans and say, look, these shits were more than your mother's mortgage at the time. Fuck you.
Yeah. Wherever she is, I want to find her and cut off her Social Security right now. And like,
right.
Yeah.
Buy me a pair of jeans.
Damn it. Shit. Exactly.
I'm worried about mine.
How do your kids feel? What's the general temperature on Champion now? Is it cool? Is it not?
Champion hoodies are good.
Oh, they're back. Okay, because I love them growing up.
I love them too. I mean, I see them here and there, but these kids are weird nowadays. They're not like we were.
No, they're not.
Weird.
There was a boy named Dustin that I really liked, and to get to second base with him, which was like, touching the boobies, I bought I bought a new Champion sweatshirt because I was like, well, he's gonna go up my sweatshirt, so like I want him to think my sweatshirt's really cool, and so I had this like extra large Champion sweatshirt, and I was like, I'm ready. And then he dumped me the next day.
Damn,
Dustin, fuck you too.
Right, Dustin? All you had to do is wait a couple more years.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. He'd be Dustin.
Learn.
Exactly.
Moisture. You dumbass.
My karma was to like just really just grow boobs and just like have it right in Dustin's face.
You see what you could have had?
Exactly. I think he knows, but he still doesn't care. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Fuck him. Now, before we get into your brand, which I love the name of, and once we unveil it here, because it's been unveiled to the world, it just hasn't been said here for a reason. Right. I know everybody that is involved in Talking Junk Network is gonna love it. Before that, though, we got to show the viewers and you something that you guys will absolutely love. A word from our sponsors.
Subscribe for more videos.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
I sat in a bar once and a man handed me a drink, and it was the most cool, refreshing, laid-back Cheshire Cat cocktail that I had ever had in all of my days. It made me feel like I was on a tropical island, but also standing as tall as a CEO at the exact same time. Next thing I knew, I was smarter, I was sharper, I was cooler, I was calmer. I turned around, I asked the barman, I said, "What'd you give me?" He looked at me hard and he said, "I just gave you a Dizzle."
Go to the dizzlebrand.com right now and order you a bottle. This is the best thing on the market. You want to have good flavor? You want to have a knockout time? This thing will put you on your ass. But the best thing about it, Dustin, listen to me, all right? Listen. This thing is a complete aphrodisiac. You give it to somebody, and I promise you, male or female, they are going to turn into a person that you don't know, but a person that you will love. Go to the dizzlebrand.com right now and get you a bottle, I promise. And it tastes like mango. You can't go wrong.
I love to get dizzled.
Right.
Yeah, let's get dizzled up. What do you drink it with Coke or Diet Coke, or how do you take your dizzle, or just straight?
So it depends on the evening, right? Okay. If I want to get drunk fast, 3 shots will do it.
Damn.
And you can wait. You can wait 5-10 minutes in succession to each, and you'll still get fucked up.
I feel like it's very classy to have like a Dizzle on ice.
Dizzle on ice is the best with a slice of lime.
Yeah.
The best. Or I like to use grapefruit.
Oh, that's a good one too.
But it pretty much mixes with everything. I haven't found anything yet that it doesn't mix with. It's good with Coke. It is great with cranberry juice. It is amazing in a coquito. My Puerto Ricans out there, get you a bottle of Dizzle, make a coquito with it, and I promise you, it tastes like Mori Soñando. Don't believe me? Get it right now.
I'm interested. I feel like even though I'm Jewish, I feel like Jews and Puerto Ricans can be friends. We like each other.
Yes, of course.
I just want to be friends with more cultures that eat well and love their families.
Well, I have been told as a Puerto Rican, and let me just say this, and my co-host, one of my co-hosts on the break room hate that I always throw out disclaimers. and I'm a man that doesn't give a fuck so much. But this is where it segues into your brand because
Oh yeah, we're gonna cancel ourselves right now.
right. I try not to cancel myself, but I am always told that I have a Jewish nose.
You absolutely do. You do. There's
And
a million
sideburns.
boys at camp that look just like you, which is wonderful. I love my Jewish nose, and like all my Jewish friends, we all kind of look like our eyes are very close. Like, but I'm happy with that, like a Jerry Seinfeld type of vibe.
Well, my eyes are closed for a different reason, but mazel tov.
But I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. And you just kind of gave way to what the name of your brand was. We're no stranger to it. We've been banned off of YouTube before. So how did you come up with it?
Yeah, so pre-canceled was the name of my brand. My mom still calls it like pre-cancerous. I'm like, that's not wrong. She's always like, how's your pre-cancer going? I'm like, please don't say that. But yeah, I just decided, especially with being on the radio, I really grappled at first with like being able to speak my truth and knowing that most things I was saying is coming from like a loving, open place. And sometimes we can be idiots and just talk really before we think. But in order for me to be live on the radio with other humans listening, I just thought about it. I'm like, I just need to, in my mind, cancel myself already, or like, think about the worst that could happen, which is have others be mad at me. And then I'm like, well, this is almost a whole brand. And as I went through with like doing more stand-up and putting myself out there more and more, I wanted to like, quote unquote, pre-cancel myself. Now this was before the pandemic. So like, I definitely am like I call myself like a pre-pandemic conspiracy theorist, where I was always way, way, way more interested in like the moon landing type of things, or like Stanley Kubrick movies,
You will fit in just right in the break room because we did
Okay,
an
good.
episode on the moon landing and how Kubrick was the actual one who filmed it.
Yeah.
So
Yes. See, we know. And I felt like, to be honest, during the pandemic, it got a little bit much with like, I don't care either way if like people were vaccinated, like I just wanted kind of the madness to end about that. So I wasn't really like, once it got into that realm, I was like, I'm not holding back. I just kind of like don't have that insane like one way or another of opinions. And I just kind of, like it was such a weird, strange time. But yeah, I decided to make t-shirts and really kind of do a tongue-in-cheek thing at conspiracy theorists in general, because like I am one, but I also feel like I'm almost a good, like I can be a bridge to the other side of people. So because I would have friends that are completely anti-conspiracy or like on both sides of the political aisle, and I have friends that like basically have a mask still like stapled to their mouth and everything. I'm able to just like with love kind of, I think, talk to like both sides and really like understand both.
Right. I'm kind of the same way. And it's like I have friends and family outside of the podcast world that most of them aren't conspiracy theorists, so they don't see in that light. And I have friends that listen to podcasts, but also the ones that are on my podcast, and we're all conspiracy nuts. And
yeah.
We like to push the envelope sometimes. We spoke about a certain type of pizza with
oh, yep.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I already know.
Right. I mean, I was trying to code it, but it just slipped right out. You see that? And we got banned from YouTube for like a month or so for doing it. And my co-host suggested something. I haven't been podcasting for about a month now because I hurt my knee. And then I lost a family member.
I'm sorry.
It's been a roller coaster of a month, but we're getting through it. So I got back on it, but he suggested that we do a topic that's like, it's not pushing the envelope content wise, but it's more pushing the envelope. Am I safe wise?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, because when you mention things like Tom Hanks or like Wayfair or like all these weird things, it's like, okay, people do get like shut down and kind of shut up for different reasons.
Right.
And yeah, there became a moment where I wasn't afraid, because I'm also like not that big of a creator where I was that worried, but I kind of did think, okay, this is going to be weird. But I also wanted to like come to terms with, oh, I do comedy. I'm definitely in like the entertainment scene, and I'm like rising my little ranks up there. But I had to be okay with basically, if my comedy career goes so well that like in 8 years I'm on some ABC show or something and they go back and look at my tweets and my whatever, I have to just be okay with like knowing that I spoke my truth and I don't care if I get canceled. Now, to me, that's totally different than putting out like hateful things against different ethnicities or cultures or people. Like I'm not a fan of that in any means.
Right.
Mine is definitely more of like less hate towards humans and more calling out, like how you said, YouTube shutting down things for no reason. I thought it was really scary how during the pandemic, like Twitter wouldn't allow us to even just talk about like healthy things, and
right. We can't talk about shit like that, but I can go look at somebody putting shaft in somebody's butthole right on Twitter.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially when it comes to health. Like there were some articles about how vitamin D was helpful was getting shut down, and just things like that, where whether or not we're in a pandemic, like things that people can help people's lives in general and health, like that being shut off really drives me crazy.
Well, I put in the private chat exactly the topic. You're a conspiracy theorist. You probably know about this. I just found out about this, and I was baffled. And we have a member on our podcast that lives in the area where that is going.
Really?
Down. Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's like, I mean, we could do it. I'm all the way up here, but I don't know. Do you want to push that envelope? Do you want to taunt them?
I know, exactly. That's really scary. And I've gotten people mad at me too. I got disinvited from a Super Bowl party because the year before was Beyonce. And I was like, I kept on pointing out how demonic she looked. And I was just like, she's riding in, or I think it was Katy Perry. Like someone was riding in on a literal devil. And I'm like, why would we think that this is just normal as entertainment? And
that was Beyonce, I believe.
Yeah, someone wrote in.
Was it? There was something else too, because I know there was some stuff in Rihanna's thing also that was.
Yeah, I mean the symbolism. It's weird to me if people are like looking the other way, and I know with like little Nas X and stuff, people say, "Oh, he's poking fun at it. It's just pretending." I'm like, I don't think these artists are like that clever to. Yeah. So to me, it's a little nuts on the other end if people don't see like some of these symbols that are just very overt and like obvious, but. I still feel like I could partake in, like, I still listen to Rihanna or, Beyonce. I still listen to, like, a lot of the traditional mainstream things. I've been to Coachella, and I still, like, straddle the line of consuming big movies and big blockbuster things, but knowing that, there are agendas, or at least I feel that way. Allegedly.
I mean, with you knowing that these alleged moist-ass allegations are happening all around Hollywood and the music industry, it kind of makes it like Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Now you're looking for them. And it's like, why the fuck is that pizza on there like that?
Totally.
That's weird.
I am not kidding. Like, I'm seriously not kidding. I live in Burbank, and and it's about a 15-minute drive to Hollywood. And I swear, like, you could truly, if you're sensitive and like awake and aware, which I know you are, like, you can feel the difference, like on Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard. And so many of the billboards have like someone covering an eye, or like it's all, you're driving through these streets and it's just like, you could just feel a different type of energy. It's definitely a dark, like weird kind of sad one. I think what Hollywood used to be was at least that, but still like fun and glittery. And now it kind of feels just a little sad and for real, just dark. But but I still choose to live in Los Angeles and I still partake in a lot of the things. So it's this weird thing because I hate it. And I'm like, Hollywood is disgusting and I hate like all actors and actresses, but then I'm like still in it. So,
oh my God, did you see her latest movie?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's so weird. And like, even the things like Deadpool or, they're still fun to watch. I'm sure that there's some things happening that we don't even know, but it's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, I love movies and stuff myself, and we could probably go on all day about it. But
yeah, but even the last thing is like when you just look at even like Netflix's programming and like every single thing is the devil. It's weird to me if at this point people can't at least like notice or at least question things.
Right. I mean, just watch any kid's cartoon.
Yes. Oh, I'm fired up now.
We have to get you on a break room.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. But I was gonna say on the flip side of that, I am so thankful now that my parents, like growing up, even though Pennsylvania, like I grew up in PA and it wasn't the most diverse, my parents did a great job of like not raising me in a very warm and like loving environment for all different types of people. So what I don't have to hide is like a lot of hateful tweets or a lot of, like I think a lot of influencers now are going back and getting canceled for things like crazy, horrific things they said back in the day. So I feel like confident in that way where I'm like, go ahead, scour that. Like you're not going to find that.
Yeah, but now they, I mean, the days of canceling isn't over, but the days of rushing comedians is still in full effect.
Oh, it's very scary and very weird. And yeah, I even like out here, people will, even if someone makes a really funny joke about mental health, it's just quiet and everyone's like afraid. And so I really enjoy doing stand up in other cities where there's more kind of like real people too.
Have you been to the East Coast yet?
Yeah. I've done I've done one or two shows in New York, just like smaller, kind of more intimate, like friend shows. I think next year I'm going to do a show in Ithaca, New York, which I'm very excited about.
Okay.
But yeah, I like hope I did some shows in Texas, which you could just imagine. That's like our people, I love it. And then New Orleans.
So when the next time you're in the East Coast, you got to let me know where you are so we can pop up.
Absolutely. You'll have to tell me.
I'll pop up with some Dizzle so you can taste it.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. You'll have to let me know your favorite ones around Connecticut too that are like some
you see, I haven't. This is blasphemy, but I've never been to a comedy club.
Whoa.
And I've always like secretly dreamt of, putting together a set.
Cool.
I haven't done it yet. I mean, shit, my life could write fucking 3 Deliriouses, but
you should do it. I always tell people it's better and worse than you think it's going to be. Like, once you kind of get past the inevitable shows that everyone has where it is just like people looking at you, you just realize, okay, that was a worst case scenario, but I'm getting over it,
See, for me, it's not really the jitterbugs. I feel like the first 30 seconds I'll be like that, and then it'll surpass because I do this. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing.
And you're Leo.
A couple
You're
of
made for
people
it.
watch. Oh, thank you very much. The thing for me really is the sitting down and the writing of the set or whatever it is that I have to sit down and pay attention to.
Yeah.
I feel like I have adult ADHD. And I've never been diagnosed, and I can't sit still. I can't focus. I tell you right now, Meryl, I have like at least 2 solid scripts in this, 3 solid scripts in this head that I know would win awards, but I can't write them.
I believe you. Well, I'm a big fan of classes and coaches. I started stand up that way. I took a class. And it was 8 weeks, and then the quote unquote like final exam was a 5-minute set at a venue. So ready or not, you're performing 5 minutes, and so those 8 weeks, it was every Wednesday. And like I'm similar to you in the way that if it was just me doing open mics, I'd probably do one and like never do it. But there's something for like people like us, I think, in an ongoing class where you have to show up and be accountable no matter what, and then there is like some end date. And so same thing with like writing a script where there's a ton of script writing classes and pilots and all that stuff where the whole like guiding where it's like every week you do little by little and then at the end you have the finished product. Because I'm like you, I just cannot like start and stop on my own. I need to be part of something that's holding me accountable.
Because I'm more of a visual guy. Like
me too.
Or as you can see, an auditory person. I'll tell you all day exactly what happens, where the dialogue is, but I won't be able to put it down on paper, and it sucks.
Yeah, and I love learning from other people too. Like I feel like, I mean, you seem very social too, where it helps inspire me when I'm learning from other people and like there's other people's stories going on, and I think that
like
helps
I took a small improv class, and I love that.
Cool. Yeah,
improv is pretty cool.
Improv is cool. I did one level and then I quit the second level when we had to go around in a circle and pretend we all had a different pain. And I'm like, this is so geeky. I'm quitting right now.
Oh man, I would not have to pretend right now because I got a
Yeah.
COVID
Aw,
situation
your
going
knee?
on right here. Yeah, it's still 12 weeks of recovery. It's been almost 6, but I'm hobbling along without crutches and without a wheelchair now. It bothers at the end of the day, but you know we gotta get on.
Do you you may have already talked about this, but do you like talk about it on here? What happened?
I haven't because I haven't been on since. And
Okay.
this is probably the best time to talk about it when we're
Yeah,
talking about
it's a
comedy and
shit show
everything.
moment.
It was the stupidest shit in the world. I'll tell you that. I wish it was a big story where there was a big brawl going on, or I did something daring, or
You
I was
saved the
playing
day.
a sport. Nothing like that happened. It was my daughter's birthday. I was drinking. We got back home. My brother couldn't find my little brother's house, and he's being a dick on the phone. He put the wrong address in, so we're going back and forth. And now we're not going back and forth in a manner where we're really gonna fight. It's more of a get the fuck over here, you stupid son of a bitch kind of thing.
Okay, yeah,
And we hugged in a tussle, and all I know was that I heard pop, and I told him to get the hell off of me. And I was like, look, you broke my leg. I seen something protruding. He was like, no, there's no way I broke your leg. I tried to stand up. I'm like, yo, you fucking broke my leg.
Oh my God. Did it twist or like?
It didn't. I don't know what happened. Well, so full discretion. Right now, I am healthcare free. All right. So I don't have healthcare. I'm waiting for the open market to come in. So I didn't take an MRI.
Okay.
From the x-ray, what it looked like was my lateral tendon popped. And it fractured the small bone, I think is the tibula. I think. That's the one that it fractured. And I don't know how, but when I got in the car that night, I guess the fracture popped itself back into where it was.
Oh my gosh.
Into a place where it could heal. And I mean, I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, you're raw dogging it basically.
Right. I'm raw dogging it, but there's no moisture here.
No, the ligaments are dry. The tibula is
dry. No hock tour, no fucking WD. But it doesn't feel too bad. It's just
you wear like a brace or anything?
I wear a brace when I need the support, or I'll get on the crutches or a wheelchair at work when I feel a little tired. But I'm stubborn, so I go through the day. These past 2 days, I've been just on my legs.
Oh my God.
It's a little brutal, but I'll get there.
I hope you weren't drinking Dizzle. That would not be a very good ad for them.
No, I was not drinking Dizzle because it's a huge bottle, and I don't want to bring it to fuck it. I'll probably get in trouble one day anyway. A state park, which you're not supposed to be drinking in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I drank 2 discrete bottles of peanut butter whiskey that I had in my swimming trunks with a little bit of cherry cola. So
yum.
It was
I'm
amazing.
Glad. And your brother walked away like injury free. He didn't not even.
When we fell over after, I guess my leg couldn't take the weight of us both, which doesn't make sense because if you look at us both, I weigh like 215. He weighs like 90 pounds soaking wet. And my knee buckled under the pressure of like 300 and something pounds. But yeah, it was an experience. He got like a little scratch and a little bruise from him hitting the floor, but it wasn't too bad.
Well, I'm so happy to be the first one back and that you're back in the swing of things.
Well, I'm glad you're the first one back. Well, you weren't the first one back for Talking Junk. You were the first one that I spoke about it with. I haven't done the break room yet. I had an episode last week where I canceled on the guy like 4 times, and he is a saint. His name is David Page. He's a producer for TV shows and stuff like that. He used to be a newscaster for several years, but he created diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh, awesome!
So I couldn't keep him waiting. So I hopped on and I did his interview. But this interview is the first interview on TikTok of Talking Junk ever. This is the first interview that I told you my shit show moment that just happened recently. This is going to be the second episode probably that we actually get canceled.
Oh, good. You got canceled already?
Oh, yes. We were canceled because of the whole pizza debacle.
Oh, that's okay. They really canceled you. Yes.
They really did.
Yeah. And then how long did you have your account blocked for? Like, was it days you said, or was it just like you had to
think it was a month, but it might have been 3. I'm not sure of the timeline, but we couldn't produce any podcast because we go live and it doesn't make sense to just go live on Facebook. So
yeah,
I didn't do any of them.
Okay, I think I did one time. I got my Instagram. I got put in IG jail when I shared like a Wayfair cabinet that was $80,000, and I said like I'm about to order this like cabinet. Like what is it? And the next thing I went to go post a story, and then it was like your account is like not active now. So
right, I'm gonna purchase this Vincent colored dresser here.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the olden conspiracy days where it's like it was a little bit more fun. Now it's a little like I'm actually less interested in like the politics conspiracy and more interested in more entertainment and Hollywood type of stuff.
Right, like is Tyler Perry really Will Smith? Are they really wearing bodysuits?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, what really got me, and I know you don't want to. You said you kind of stir away from the politics conspiracies, but what got me really thinking about bodysuits is Joe Biden.
Oh my gosh, when he had like it was like bunched up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the earlobes don't match.
Right. And then I just want like this is where I like to also ask my friends that don't believe in this. I'm like, why is he a foot taller then? If he's, like why does he look a foot taller? I don't understand.
Look, all I'm saying is that Kanye West said if he ever disappeared for a little while and came back, it wasn't him. Why is this Kanye a little brolic and taller? It's not Kanye.
I know. And I think there's a lot of they've admitted that cloning and a lot of these things that people were like, that's not the case. And now they're like, oh yeah, we could actually do this.
There's a kid that took somebody's name from Dragon Ball Z. I think his name is Kid Buu or some shit like that. He got the fucking whole Majin Buu tattoo here and everything. He claims to have cloned himself openly. We did an episode on Clonade and everything. Maybe last year. It's you guys. If you haven't watched it, go to the archives. It's incredible. But I don't want to end this episode on a conspiracy note. I want to end this episode on a funny Meryl note. And I just want to let you know the Campfire Shit Show is a wonderful podcast. I hope you guys do come back on. I don't make it a habit of doing a lot of research on the people that come on the show. And if I do, I always do it the day of so it can stay fresh because busy lives, you kind of forget things happen. And I like a free-formed interview. But I listened to You Shouldn't Want to Fuck in a Dirty Bathroom. And it was hilarious.
I forget why I talked about this. Was it or like will you remind me of what we even talked about?
I will. It was when you watched the pornographic episode on the beach while you were reading your book.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That was in Santa Monica or Venice, and they were full on like two very hot Euro people that were drinking wine in like the morning, and I like a little creep. I was like, watching them basically have sex, and she was on top of him, and I kept on like peeking and like trying to look, and it was hot. I'm not gonna lie, they were very
and
good
then
looking.
You fell asleep. You woke up. They were in missionary. Like, what is happening? Where is the lifeguards? Where are the
0%
beach patrol? What's happening?
It's Santa Monica, so I feel like we're lucky to not be like hit with a bow and arrow by the unhoused, community or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely it started out hot and heavy, and then it got until like you could tell they were both tired and getting sloppy drunk.
Now, I got to tell you, as soon as we turned the episode on, like your intro is amazing. I love your intro. But right after the intro for that episode, me and my wife were listening to the episode, and we knew as soon as it started that you were going to be a great fit.
Oh,
anything that we do on here.
That's so sweet. That's like so sweet. And that's like, it's so nice when you find like kindred people that get each other.
I mean, Leos always get each other.
I was just going to say how, I mean, I know you had a lot of weird things happen this Leo season, but do you feel like you really got to bask in just the wonderfulness of being a Leo?
I got to bask in some of it. I actually got to do something for my birthday because Deadpool came out on my birthday for the early release. So I was happy.
What's your birthday?
July 25th.
Oh, okay. So you're on the earlier side of things.
Yeah, the very
Okay.
early side. I'm like, my wife keeps telling me I'm a Cancer cusp, but no, I
Okay.
don't want to hear none of that. I'm a Leo. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of reassurance in my career, which was, I mean, my 9 to 5, because I would like my voice and everything else to be my career. I want to do voiceovers. I want to do some comedy. I want to write movies. I want to be in movies. I want to do radio, but internal clock is ticking. I'm 37 years old. Whatever I can do, I will do. Whatever I get the opportunity to do, I will take advantage of. But I'm just having fun right now. I have basked a little bit in the Leo glow, but it has been a rough Leo season.
I know, but we still come out shining. I went to a birthday party of just Leo girls, and it was so funny. In true fashion, one of them got out her video.
It was a very moist party.
Very moist. It was actually a pool party, so we were extremely moist the whole time. But she wanted to sing. It was myself and my friend Leo girls, and we looked at the phone and sang "Happy Birthday" to us. And so it's the most like self-indulgent, just like narcissistic time. I'm like, this is amazing. I love it.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you that are wondering exactly what Meryl said to let us know that she was a great fit for us, as soon as the episode comes on, all you hear Meryl say is, "I'm tight. I am tight." And through that episode, it was so crazy. Her co-host told her she had urges to suck dick. It was bananas.
It's
and
true.
She took it all like a champ. I tell you, I have to extend the invitation to the break room. I'm hoping that having a woman on like you come on whenever you want. You can come on every episode if you'd like. But yes, I'm hoping that having you fit right in with the guys. I'm telling you.
Cool.
But I'm also hoping that having a woman on like you, if not every episode, every couple of episodes, will encourage my wife to come back on with us goofballs.
Yeah.
Kind of chase her away. It's like 6 guys on there and it's just her. So
man, I give her credit.
It gets, yeah. I mean, she did it for the better part of 3, I'd say 2.5 years.
Whoa.
She's we've been doing it for almost 4. So she's a trooper. She's definitely a trooper. But we want to definitely bring more female influence into the podcast. We have a lot of female guests come on the show when we actually have guests, because we usually just shoot the shit with each other. We talk about current events. We pick a main topic. We do some trivia and that night. Sometimes we'll take a script and we'll do voices to it. We do a whole bunch of different shit. But yes, the invitation is 1,000% extended. You are welcome to come on any product we have at any moment in time. Just say the word.
Thank you. I'm a 1,000 accepting it, and I really want to talk about like the Melissa Avril Lavigne. So that's the first topic I want to talk about with you guys.
Oh man,
we'll go into that on that one. That's the first one we're going to start out with.
We can't just talk about that though. We'll get into.
We'll go into all things.
Yes, we'll get it. Well, we won't get into all things. How about this? We'll make it, because we did a celebrity a conspiracy theory episode. Why don't we do we can't do a clone because they didn't say she was cloned. She was replaced.
Right.
So we'll do a replaced celebrity episode.
Ooh, Paul McCartney. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this shit.
Okay.
I was born for this shit. Okay, good.
I can't wait. I mean, we talk about a lot of different shit, not just a series. Look at me, not just conspiracy theories. A lot of serial killers, a lot of unsolved mysteries, a lot of social topics, and most of all, we speak about a lot of gooey duck, a lot of people being on the specky. We talk about a lot of stupid shit that we will get canceled for. That's why we and Meryl are all already pre-canceled.
Look at that. Bringing it all around. Amazing.
I try. Now, at TikTok, it's going to look funny for you because my image is just like mirrored onto your screen. I am going to share a screen that is Meryl's Instagram. This is where she wants you guys to go and put your traffic on there. This is where she needs to be. Is this even the one?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It also has you. It's suggesting like my friends for you. That's so funny.
It's perfect. They already know. Well, it's really because everything is listening to us, but we'll get into that another
exactly.
time.
For sure. But I'm like,
now, Meryl,
like I just mentioned like Cleveland to someone, and all of a sudden, all my commercials and ads are like, visit Cleveland. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Now, my thing is going to be all about Santa Monica.
It is. Santa Monica and like strangers having sex and Avril Lavigne. It's going to be crazy.
Well, if my audience knows my head, the strangers having sex is already in my algorithm. So it's no stranger here. But I want to give you this time to just promote yourself. Tell the viewers what you got going on, where they can find you the next couple dates, where they can get all your old stuff, and where we can buy those wonderful pre-canceled shirts.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I feel like everything is on my Instagram, which he just shared, at Meryl Klemo, MERYL KLEMOW. The podcast that we talked about is called the Campfire Shit Show, and that's SHT. And we're currently on hiatus, maybe coming back, who knows. And then for any people that live in the Southern California area, I have a really fun show tomorrow in San Diego. And I'm all over LA and San Diego and beyond. So thank you so much. Now I'll just stare awkwardly at the camera. I feel like I feel like it's that video when like someone leaves their phone with their boss and they're just standing here, right? Not knowing what to do.
No, you know what it is? TikTok, man. TikTok ended my stream. TikTok, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because somebody didn't like the profanity. But TikTok,
no way.
Come on.
They're canceling us talking about canceling. It's very meta.
Right. I mean, we've been canceled before, but fuck.
Fuck this. Come on, TikTok.
Right, Tick Dick, put me back on.
TikTok.
Anyway.
Sorry, now I'm turning into a 13-year-old boy.
That's what you have to turn into when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
But you have been a wonderful, wonderful guest. I extended. We usually have 2 guests on to Talking Junk with 2 slots, and sometimes I'm greedy with my time. I will give the first slot just their half hour, and I will boogie. But Meryl, you, my dear, got both slots. You got the full hour, and it is not enough. I am going to set up something to where we can get. You gave me your cell phone. I'm going to text you, and we will work something out. I'll let you know the times, and whenever you are free, you are welcome to jump on.
I'm honored. I feel like I made like a video game. I made it to like the next round.
Oh, trust me, the pleasure was all mine, but you most certainly did make it to the next round. And I'm not even gonna tell her to leave the screen while I close it out for you motherfuckers. All right. I love you all. Thank you for tuning into the show. We had another wonderful guest for you tonight. We'll have another wonderful guest for you every week, or hear me out. Maybe we'll go to every 2 weeks, just because I want more content for you, better content, and I'm looking of different ways to bring these outlets to you. Which brings me to the topic I wanted to talk about on the break room, but I couldn't. So in closing, I'm going to let you guys know in the audience, we need your feedback on a lot of these things. We want to start getting more of the audience engagement on our live shows, on everything. So hit me up in the DMs. Let me know what you want to see. I want to have people call in. I'll have a number for you to call. You give us your opinion on something, or you can chime in on a topic. Whatever it is, if you want to be a part of this here network, it is 1,000% possible. You can do it. Trust me. And like the immortal Miss Cleo would say. No, not this show. It's the immortal Miss Meryl. Call her now for a blood clot reading. I love you all. If you don't like me, you know already what it is. Bitch, change the station. We love you. Peace out. Almost forgot. Lamb chops. Take it away, baby.
Thank you for tuning in.